Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wednesday, May 6th. And we find ourselves already in the fourth week of Easter. As you know, if you've seen some of the other videos from this week, we are offering reflections on Mary, the mother of Jesus, since May is traditionally known as a month that we remember Mary in a special way. And as I prayed about this and reflected on it, there were a lot of different ideas that came to mind about Mary. But I found myself coming back to, over and over again, the idea that this Sunday is Mother's Day. And maybe in a way that I hadn't done so previously, I found myself reflecting on the myriad ways people might view Mother's Day. And I was struck by how complicated that could be. You know, for some, Mother's Day is pure delight, pure joy. Moms get a special day, and children get to express how much they love them and are grateful for them. In a particular way, this year, because of the social distancing, Mother's Day might be tender. It is so for me because we won't be able to be celebrating with our moms in person. For others, if your mom has died during this past year, then Mother's Day will mark the first time celebrating Mother's Day without her. And it can be a painful reminder of how much you miss her. For those who have children, Mother's Day can be both wonderful, but if you've lost a child, can be particularly a painful day. And for me, someone who's never had children, sometimes Mother's Day can feel honestly a bit awkward and not sure how I quite fit in with it. I have two nieces and a nephew who are adopted, and as they get older, I know that Mother's Day becomes more conflicted for them with their feelings. And as their aunt, who loves them to pieces and is so grateful and happy that they're in my life, honestly, there's never a Mother's Day that arrives that I don't think about their biological mothers and how Mother's Day might be for them. Several years ago, my eyes were opened to a whole other reality. I helped with a program for children whose moms are in prison. And it was so bittersweet for both the kids and the moms. And we tried to support both as they dealt with their emotions. So when you think about it, I don't think there are enough Hallmark cards that could satisfy every emotion or every circumstance of what Mother's Day might mean for us. And so in reflecting on Mary, the young woman from Nazareth who became the mother of Jesus, I started to remember and pray about the different glimpses we get of her from the scriptures and how much we are alike, how much we are like her, and how we can turn to her when we need her. So I started thinking about different moments, and I thought that, you know, when we feel alone or misunderstood or frightened, we can remember that Mary found herself pregnant as a teenage girl in a society that would have allowed her to be stoned to death had not Joseph taken her in and decided not to expose her to the public. When we feel uncertain about following a certain call in our lives because we're not sure where it's all going to lead, we can remember Mary who said yes to the angel, knowing that all that she really relied on was that God loved her and that God's presence was there for her. But it still didn't say what it would all mean for her or where it would all lead. But she still said yes. When we feel heartbroken by the loss of losing someone, we can remember that Mary watched Jesus die an unimaginable death, a death that was given to a criminal during that time. And if we find ourselves without the strength to make it through a situation, and maybe it's right now during these days of the pandemic, maybe we can remember that Mary summoned the courage to stay at the cross until the very end, and found the courage to be able to live through that moment. When I was younger, I have to say that Mary was just a little bit too lofty for me to even relate to, and it was like the bar was just set too high for me to try to follow in her footsteps. She just didn't seem relatable to me. But as I get older and come to appreciate Mary, I realize that she doesn't live so high above us somewhere, that she's within my reach and someone to whom I can turn, because she experienced all the complexities of life, just like I have, with all its joys and all its sorrows. So maybe as you go through your day today, or when you mark Mother's Day this Sunday, I hope it can be a time that you turn to Mary, to reach out to her with whatever is in your heart, trusting that she understands and she stays close to us because she's been there. She knows what it is to have a heart full of feelings and hopes and dreams. Until we see each other again, I want to wish you many blessings of peace and hope during these days, to you and to all those you love. And I hope that we will see one another very soon.